Hi, I'm Rebecca, this is Laura, and welcome back to Splurge Society. So we've been asking you a bunch of questions over on Instagram recently because we want to hear more from you guys and bring the whole society closer together. So we asked you a bunch of questions. We're going to share what you had to say, and so hopefully the answers that some of you gave will help the rest of you that are watching. If you have any other thoughts about the questions that we asked, pop them in the comments below. We'd love to hear from them and from you, and so would the other brides, and so we can all just help each other and grow our society and just the support that we can give one another. So
the first question we asked was, what's the best piece of wedding advice you've heard? And we got kind of quite a few similar responses to this, and yeah, so we're just going to talk you through some of the ideas that we got back.
Yes, so excuse the looking at the phone. But yeah, so we've got things like from Hufflepuff, I'm liking that, to like don't try and do everything yourself on the day, which I think is a good thing.
A really important thing to remember.
Delegate.
Yes. It can be difficult because I know, well,
you want to
have control, but there are people there to help you on the day. You've got important things to be doing, like getting married, so...
You give them a lot of instructions beforehand.
Yes. Clear, written instructions.
Yeah. Photographs. Like, I remember I made like decorations for the back of my wedding chairs, and I literally wanted to be hung in a certain way, and so I literally like did it on one of my dining room chairs, took a picture, printed it, put it on the instructions because I wasn't allowed to like be part of setting it up.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, so you know, if you find a control freak like me, follow Hufflepuff's advice. I quite like this one from Can't Wait to Say I Do, who said to take a minute away with your broom to soak it all in.
Yeah, that is a good one. And something I think I thought of before the wedding, and then looking back, I don't think I really had that. I didn't do it. And it would have been, we did sit together, we had a sweetheart table, so there was some time together, but I don't think there was any point part of the day that we kind of could be together and be like, we've just got married, until right at the very end, like when everybody gone. So I would say yes, if you can, just try and carve a little bit of time out just to kind of realise what's happening.
Yeah, it's a full on day, isn't it? Yeah, there's maybe like in some of these there's quite a thing of like maybe not being influenced too much by others, but I think that's going to come more in one of our later questions, so maybe I'll come back to that one. But yeah, saying here, remember it's only a day, you don't get into debt, from future Mrs. N 2020. Right. Yeah, so it went out in a recent video called We Love Weddings, but we were talking about like money and not getting into unmanageable debt, we were saying. Yeah, because you may feel you want to spend a little more on it, and if you know what you're doing with money and stuff, if you feel able to do that. Yeah.
So nearly Mrs. McKay suggested a wedding email, and you might think, well, why do I need a separate email account? I've already got one. Well, if you start inquiring from people, if you're signing up to maybe wedding mailing lists or stuff, you're going to really appreciate a separate dedicated email account that everything wedding related can just go into that.
That's true.
And it means that both of you can have access to it as well.
Yeah.
So you can both check. It means all the kind of payment stuff, like demands and...
or if you've got people replying to your invitations via RSVPing through email, then at least you've only got one place to check that's dedicated to.
I think we both did that, did we?
Yeah, I had a wedding email, yeah. But you're right, you give out your email just so many times at wedding fairs. But it's just nice to have one. And then you kind of shut down from it like afterwards as well, if you don't want it's all over. So our second question was, what's been your best budget-friendly wedding buy? What did you basically win at life on?
Well, Pop the Champers seems to have got a bargain of a venue. So that she says, our venue so far, $2,000 for the barn, the farm, camping for all guests, and a week to set up. So it sounds like that's going to be quite a DIY kind of venue, potentially, maybe like a blank canvas venue. But that's great.
Yeah. Betham9 said, I bought my wedding shoes in Peacocks for £8. They're exactly what I wanted.
Oh,
well,
brilliant.
Exactly what you want.
Exactly. Bargain.
Yeah, don't spend more.
Yeah. So a couple of people, Journey Up the Aisle and Hufflepuff again, talking about the wedding dress. So like an off-the-rack wedding dress, or just what?
Like sample sales, like they're good for that too, aren't they? Yeah. And DIY invites from future Mrs. N 2020, like doing it yourself.
Yeah. So we've done a lot of DIYs on this channel, and often they can save you money, even if they do take longer, obviously, than if you bought them. But there's always a caveat that it doesn't necessarily save you money if you haven't got all the equipment beforehand.
And talking of saving money, that brings us to our next question. Nicely done, Laura.
Yeah.
So our third question was, what's your top money saving tip to save the big bucks? So this was quite a popular question, like in terms of responses.
Yeah.
So again, Hufflepuff, thank you for answering lots of our questions. Said an Excel spreadsheet to keep track of the spend, and so you don't overspend.
That's a good idea, because it can be really easy just to be like, oh yeah, we've already paid out this huge amount of money potentially for a venue. What's a bit more for this? What's an added extra for this? And if you haven't got it all written down, it can soon kind of add up, and then all of a sudden your whole budget's gone and you haven't paid for any food for any guests or something.
You don't have a dress yet.
Yeah.
Right? It's gonna make for an interesting video. No. Nearly Mrs. Allen said, like, ask for discounts. If you don't ask, you don't get. Which I like. I'm always too scared to do that.
Yeah, I think if you're going to do that, always be polite about it as well. Especially if it's kind of wedding suppliers who, if it's not like a big corporation or whatever, they might not be able to give you a discount. But I don't think anyone would hold it against you if you politely just say, is there anything you can do? As I say, if you don't ask, you don't get.
Yeah, like, if I order a certain amount, is there like a threshold where you drop the price, that kind of thing maybe? Yeah, it's not my forte. Some people are very good at
I'm the best at haggling.
Yeah. Like it's a British issue, like not being able to do it generally speaking.
Yeah, so we've got quite a few people who were saying about shopping around, and I know this has been mentioned in another video that when I was looking for my wedding dress, the same dress was, I think, at least £100 cheaper in one shop compared to another one, and then they also did if you pay in full, you get another 10% off. So prices do vary between shops.
Yeah, doing DIY, obviously, like if you can do it yourself. Again, a bunch of people said this, and getting, like, say, nearly Mrs. McKay was suggesting, like, getting friends and family involved. And that's a good thing, like, it's not just about delegating on the day, but like in the prep, like it can save you, like, many hands make light work, right? Like you might think, I haven't got the time to make all this, whatever it is, I'd have to pay someone to do it. But like, people like to get involved and help, and
people are excited for you and do fun things. Okay, so question number 4 was, what was the most used item in your craft DIY kit so far? So obviously people looking at this channel and over on Instagram, there's loads of brides doing DIY parts of their big day, and the overwhelming response to this question, and something I think we might agree with, the glue gun. Glue gun.
I thought craft knife might make it in there, but no, it was all about the glue gun.
Yeah, which it always saves time, rather than kind of maybe stitching things on. It's quick, it's easy.
More effective than a prick stick.
Yeah, versatile. We've used glue guns in many of our DIYs, so I agree with that.
So the next one was, what DIY project are you most proud of / was worth the effort? So we know a lot of you are DIY minded, like to make stuff for your wedding. So like, what are you proud of that you've done so far? So a few of you let us know. Like nearly Mrs. McKay, like your hoop table centerpiece.
So Mrs. Adams to be made, or we think, like proposal invitations for her bridesmaids.
Like,
so
will you be my bridesmaid?
To do those, which is really nice.
And the Scottish Bride talked about the signage and invitations. Yeah, imagine a lot of work would have gone into
Yes, I imagine so. Well, all of them, yeah.
Yeah, no. So yeah, we love seeing the DIYs that you're posting on there. If you do happen to do any of the DIYs that we've been doing on our channel and post it, tag us and let other people know where to find the tutorial and what it was helpful. We'd really love to see as well, like
what twist on it and spin on it.
It's kind of helped somebody and that you've been using them. We'd love to see that, so do tag us and stuff and let us know.
Next question was what's been your biggest splurge item? So we've talked a lot about budgets on our channel in different videos and how to save money, but there's always certain bits and pieces that you might want to actually put a lot more of your budget into, what's important to you on the day. And I like the first one, Scottish Bride, food. And I think that is a really important part of most weddings. People remember what they're eating, don't they? So,
and it does tend to be a costly part.
Yeah.
But if you've said that's the important part as well, and what's where you want to spend, good on your Scottish Bride. We've got a couple here, like Daniela Parker and Planning in Squares, talking about the venue, saying totally worth the investment. Or maybe the honeymoon. Appreciate the honeymoon expensive too. But hopefully you've got a good one planned.
Yes.
Definitely the dress from Mrs. Hans to be. I feel that. Yeah. And Pritchard Weddings talking about like the music, when like the bands, the
Kaylee band and harpist. So that'll be
it's great to get people involved,
Yeah.
like Kaylee and things. So
Imagine the harpist is for your ceremony, maybe, which will think we set a nice atmosphere.
Yeah, I like a Kaylee band because that's really good at like providing like the entertainment as well as just music and dance. Like it's an activity as well for your guests to engage in. So I think that's great. Alright, so next up we asked you what your most sort of pinned or searched for item was on Pinterest. So it sounds like what a lot of you are into right now is flowers, table decor,
hairstyles.
Seems to be the big themes right now. But there's quite a few answers that, but all with the same feeling on that one.
And I think Pinterest is great for getting ideas. It's always useful. You fall down that rabbit hole of inspiration, but you can get some really good ideas. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, we do also have a Pinterest account, so do hop on over and check that out.
Everything's linked below.
Yes.
Okay, so our final question. Your top tip for handling other people's opinions when planning your wedding, because although it is a great time, it's really exciting planning a wedding, everyone wants to get involved, help you when you want to delegate your tasks, there can be some quite loud opinions from people, friends, family generally, so how you handle those.
Tricky. But all the responses were basically the same. So Pop the Champers, Planning in Squares, Nearly Mrs. McKay, for example, basically all said, listen, appreciate it, but at the end of the day, stay strong in what it is that you and your fiance want. So it's no need to be rude about it, but
it's your day.
Acknowledge and then great if it happens to line up with what other people are pushing on you, and that's the thing, I think it's good to listen to, because sometimes other people do say things that make you think and maybe challenge you in a positive way about what you were thinking of doing. Maybe there is a better way, but so listen with an open mind, I'd say, but evaluate it and go, if it's not for you, you can go, I've thought about it, but this is the reason why. Not that you have to justify yourself, but you may wish to have a nice conversation. So stay strong.
Well, we hope you enjoyed that video. It's something a bit different. If you're not following us on Instagram already, head on over there and give us a follow, because we've got lots more inspiration and kind of pretty pictures over there, as well as kind of this community over there, as well as
building our society.
So if you like this video, give us a like. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our future videos, and we'll see you next week.